There was a time when games had soul, they had passion, they were actually fun. And I remember thinking, man, if games are this good now, the future's gonna be awesome, right? Yeah, unfortunately it wasn't. Welcome to modern gaming, where studios take your favorite hobby, run it through a corporate boardroom, slap a battle pass on it, and then get offended when you don't clap like a monkey. And in today's episode of The Industry Learned Nothing is brought to you by Overwatch.
To Highguard.
Sorry, my bad. Highguard. I meant Highguard. Sorry, the name sounded so familiar, I got confused. So, after a month of radio silence since the Game Awards, the game has officially launched, and now that people have actually played it, we need to ask the important questions. Is Highguard secretly good? Were we all just haters? Did we overreact?
Nope. Nope.
Short answer, no. Long answer, absolutely not. After an hour and a half of gameplay, which you're welcome by the way, I can summarize my experience with one word: confusion. And apparently I wasn't alone, because the internet immediately went to, is this Concord 2.0? Dead on arrival. We're not doing this again. Which brings us to a little history lesson. Now, to understand why people reacted so negatively to Highguard, you have to understand the trauma that came before it, because this didn't come out of nowhere. This came from experience. Now, for those of you who don't know about the biggest failure in gaming history, Concord was developed by Firewalk Studios and published by Sony and released on August 23, 2024. And according to some devs who supposedly worked on the game before, it took 8 years of development and over $400 million spent. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Sony's shareholders were not too thrilled about that. Now, this wasn't some indie passion project. This was Sony saying, we're entering the live service big leagues now. So what did they reveal? A cinematic trailer that looked like Guardians of the Galaxy if you ordered it off Temu. People thought maybe it was a heist game, or maybe a co-op adventure, or maybe a story-driven game. Then the dev said, actually it's a 5v5 hero shooter. Yeah, cool, another hero shooter. It's not like we have plenty of those already. And the reaction, immediate and collective. Why? Because it didn't innovate. It didn't stand out. It launched into a market already dominated by Overwatch, Apex, and Valorant. Adding character designs so bland, they looked like the default skins from every other shooter. And Sony had the brilliant idea to charge $40 for it. And to top it all off, the betas had awful player numbers. Marketing was basically non-existent, and despite every warning sign, Sony still launched it. The results? Well, Concord died almost instantly and set a new world record for fastest live service shutdown. Players didn't just dislike Concord, they felt burned. Which leads us back to Highguard. So when Highguard showed up at the Game Awards, players didn't see a bald new IP, they saw PTSD. Cinematic trailer first, vague gameplay, hero-based multiplayer, live service vibes. The reaction wasn't rage, it was worse. It was apathy. And then we learned that the game was launching barely a month after the awards, which basically meant this is the finished product, no more cooking. Even worse, there was almost no info about the game until launch day. No real clarity on gameplay systems, no roadmaps, no deep dives. Then suddenly, oh yeah, it's a 3v3. Oh yeah, you mine rocks like Fortnite. Oh yeah, here's every other mechanic from every other single game.
You serious?
And everyone collectively went, who is this for? But hey, maybe the gameplay would prove us wrong. So then Highguard launches and surprisingly hits nearly 100,000 players in its first hour. Already 100 times better than Concord, so good on you, Highguard, genuinely impressive. But then the numbers started dropping faster than Ubisoft stocks. Now at the time of recording this video, the game currently sits at 11,000 concurrent players, which, yikes, not a good look. So what happened? Oh, it's pretty simple. The gameplay didn't hold people. No standout mechanics, no identity, no hook. The biggest issue, 3v3 on massive maps. Now, I'm not a game dev, but even I know that if you put 6 people on a map the size of a small country, the game is going to feel pretty slow. Yes, there are mounts. Yes, it does pick up a little bit later towards the match, but it's not a great sign when your first hours feel like a running simulator featuring occasional gunfire. 5v5, 6v6, 3v3v3, literally anything else would have been better. Now, credit where it's due, the gunplay isn't bad. It actually feels pretty solid. People are comparing it to Apex, which, yeah, that's fair. I did kind of enjoy the gunplay a little bit. The problem is, the guns have no personality. Nothing feels iconic. Nothing feels memorable. Combine that with big maps and low player density, and suddenly the one thing that should shine doesn't. Then we get to abilities and characters. They're not terrible to say, they're just aggressively forgettable. It's like eating a $5 steak. Not disgusting, but you're not telling your friends about it either. Out of the 8 or 9 characters, maybe 2 stood out. Still not great. And visually, they're still giving default character creative presets that you see in a mobile game. Better than Concord, sure, but that's like saying a microwave burrito is better than eating raw dough. But despite me being bored in my first game ever in Highguard, I decided to keep on playing, thinking, okay, maybe it gets better. Maybe I'm just missing something. Maybe I'm just old and washed. Nope, that wasn't the case. Then I decided to check online to see, am I the problem? Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe everyone else just likes this game. And then I see creators like Doki Bird and Flats not feeling it either. And then I knew that, oh, it wasn't just me. But if you play the game for yourself, it does kind of just feel like a Frankenstein monster of every shooter on the market without being exceptional at any one of them. But the one generally cool thing though, the horse combat. I will admit it was kind of unique and kind of fun. So congrats, Highguard. You officially have one more innovation than Concord. But overall, the game just feels rushed, unpolished. Like a beta pretending to be a full release. Now I can kind of see the vision, I can kind of see the potential there. But in 2026, potential is just not going to cut it. But let's be real here, gameplay alone isn't why Highguard got obliterated. Probably 75% why. The real damage was done at the Game Awards in my opinion. When you reveal the final world premiere of the night, people expect something huge. And when Jeff says, from the creators of Titanfall and Apex, people start dreaming of Titanfall 3. Instead, they got Highguard. I don't know, Jeff, you just might have screwed over the devs pretty hard. I mean, yeah, that's not fair to the devs, but it is reality. If the game had been shadow dropped or revealed earlier in the show or marketed quietly, I generally believe the backlash would have been half as bad, or at least died a slow death. I don't know which is worse. Ironically, the stage that was supposed to elevate the game may have killed it before launch. But I do believe Highguard isn't just getting hate because it's mid, it's getting hate because it represents everything players are exhausted by. Another live service gamble, another trend chasing hero shooter, another cinematic first gameplay later reveal, another trust us, it'll be good eventually pitch. Players don't want promises anymore, they want proof, they want identity, they want something that respects their time, and Highguard just didn't bring enough of that. Can it recover? Maybe, but right now, the odds are not that great. But that's just my take overall. Let me know what you guys think about Highguard in the comments below. Did you try it out for yourself? Are you planning to stick with it? Or did you uninstall faster than Concord? And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe to the channel for more unfiltered gaming takes. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.